Hello, everyone. My name is Nicole Benna, and I'm currently a fourth-year accounting student at the Gordon S. Lang School of Business. I'm completing a minor in international development as well. This summer, I had the amazing opportunity of working alongside Dr. Daniela Sanko in a project that analyzed community outcomes in the mining industry. As part of our project, we analyzed the Toronto-based gold company Kinross Gold and their specific gold mine in Ghana, Africa. While researching, we came across this hierarchy, which displayed the decision-making Kinross takes when it comes to decision-making in the community. As can be seen, the first order of consultation is with the Queen Mother, followed by the Paramount Chief, chiefs within the catchment area, and chiefs outside of the catchment area. Upon seeing the decision-making hierarchy chart, I started to frame my research question for the summer, which is, how are women portrayed in corporate social responsibility reports in the extractive sector? In the next following slides, I'll describe the significance the Queen Mother's role had to my research, as well as provide a brief background into CSR reporting. A Queen Mother is a traditional female leader who works alongside the chief of a tribe and is mostly responsible for women's and children's issues in the community. As almost 80% of Ghana's land is governed by chieftaincy, a Queen Mother's role was very important and very powerful. Following colonial and post-colonial rule, women's traditional leadership did not survive. Following Ghana's independence in 1957, the new government did not include Queen Mothers in their new institutions. However, through increased education and women empowerment within the past decade, the role of a Queen Mother has started to become incorporated back into communities. This information made me question how women are portrayed in corporate governance settings, more specifically in CSR reports. As part of the rising awareness of sustainability practices, many companies, especially in the extractive industry, are publishing corporate social responsibility reports to highlight compliances to rules and regulations, as well as outreach in the communities they operate in. As part of my project this summer, I analyzed the 5 corporate social responsibility reports published by Kinross, ranging from years of 2007 to 2017. Upon analyzing the CSR reports, I was very intrigued by the limited representation of women in these reports. To further advance this position, I refer to French feminist theorist Helen Six's 1975 Laugh of the Medusa essay to further explore the written form. I used French literary theorist Roland Barthes' 1980 short story, Camera Lucida, to analyze the visual media and photography displayed in the CSR reports. Due to the limited time of this presentation, I will present some examples of my findings through Roland Barthes' visual work. Many times throughout his work, Barthes touches on the idea of a photograph never to be something that's abstract, but rather leads the viewer to a message that is clearly in front of them. Barthes sees photographs of something that is simple and enhancing of a message. Throughout CSR reports, photographs accompany the story that is being portrayed in the written form. Using coding software, I analyzed the amount of photographs that depicted males, females, and them both together over the span of 10 years in Kinross's CSR reports. As can clearly be seen, women were represented in some cases less than 6 times than males. To the viewer engaged with the CSR report, this lack of representation is misleading of the women who do work in the industry and at Kinross specifically. In 2011, Kinross created an employee spotlight at the bottom of some of their report pages. This spotlight displays an employee in their working uniform with their position title as well as the country that they work in. Out of the 8 employees that were featured, 6 were male and 2 were female. Barthes argues that we live in a very image-generalized world. He warns the reader that when generalized, it completely derealizes the human world of its conflicts and desires. CSR reports are professional publications, and as such, the photographs included are purposely selected on visual appeal and with the goal of creating a perfect photo. With this abundance of not just males being portrayed in these photographs, but also in a perfect manner, this creates an unrealistic expectation of the workplace. Many companies, including Kinross, highlight workplace diversity as one of their goals. However, when hiring and retaining female employees, it is quite difficult when the culture is portrayed in a highly dominated manner. Barthes also mentions that photographs can be dangerous, not because they display violent things, but rather they fill the sight of the viewer by force. This example here is an entire page from a 2013 CSR report. In the specific year of the publication, the price of gold worldwide had declined, and as such, Kinross turned its efforts and resources to improving economic value. In partnership with the written literature, the photographs were very powerful in their sheer size and once again in the message they portrayed, all men being powerful and successful while celebrating. In this report, there's virtually no mention of gender diversity or gender initiatives, as the goal has shifted to economic creation. It is inevitable that companies will face hardships. However, all too often, these hardships overshadow other important topics the company has made past progress in. Highlighted from the few examples in this presentation, as well as my paper and other projects I worked on this summer, the great importance of women representation was a common theme. A 2013 PwC report stated that mining is the worst sector for gender diversity. And although Kinross has been improving its representation of women in the written and visual form in its CSR reports, this is just the beginning of the story. As Queen Mothers have begun to reclaim their place in governance, so too must women in corporate reporting. Over the span of 10 years, there has been a positive trend at Kinross. And as time progresses, I hope that Kinross, as well as other companies from any sector, realize the value of women representation and act accordingly in their CSR reports. The inclusion of women in literature plays an important role for the women who have worked in these companies in the past, the women who are currently working in the fields, and the women who will be making decisions in their career and education in the near future.